Welcome, dear audience, to episode 5 of The Bucket That Never Stops Cringing, Disney Star Wars. It has been a long trudge through absolute diarrhea, and no matter how many times I have seen the light at the end of the tunnel, yet more Disney butt chunters fall upon the screen. And this episode is no different. Yes, the lightsabers may go burr, but it can't mask the stench of the worst writing ever written by Harvey Weinstein's deaf, dumb and blind former personal assistant who had absolutely no idea anything was going on with Hollywood's worst kept secret. So let's get into, audience. Let's find out what the $180 million piece of crap has done this time. Shall we begin? And here we are with the female of power taking a quick power nap after getting yeeted deleted in the last episode by the very mysterious master who no one can seem to work out, even though it's about as obvious as a modern day female athlete's balls. So gets walking, but suddenly realizes a Disney extra that everyone cared about is dead. No, we didn't even know his name. Oh, and there's fighting going on in the background where the very mysterious master, who definitely isn't the emasculated Disney male character, is kicking everyone's ass. And even worselier, half the guys are trying to smash him with a floppy lightsaber. So they straight up fucking die. But wait a minute. Are you telling me getting impaled by a lightsaber is now enough to kill people to death, even though in the other strong female of power Star Wars, they can get a gut full of billowing hot plasma and still go on space adventures day later like nothing ever happened? But in this series, they have actually died. I guess that alone is actually worth the $180 million. Anyway, while that's going on, the female of utter power Bonquisha pulls out her stunning laser. And unlike in episode 2, where she completely missed Shaniqua from like 7 meters away, delivers a salty load of stun goo right at the master's face. But for some reason it has absolutely zero effect, so she gets running away into some bushes. But the master ain't having any of that without a signed consent form, so Frisbee throws his lightsaber directly towards her. And she's gonna die. Like, really die, because there is no way that she is escaping that. Well, dear audience, let me introduce you to a little plot convenience called the Deus Ex Crappiner, because Squidman appearing out of literally nowhere to stop Bonquisha from immediately dying is full-blown televised AIDS. Also, where the hell did he come from? It makes no sense. So Squidman orders Bonquisha back to the ship, while finally asking the master the most important question that no one in the audience has managed to work out yet. Hey, who are you? Me? Bitch, do you not know who I am? Is it not that obvious? Literally no, because you got a helmet on, you fucking dingus, but you've got a lightsaber. So that must mean that you're totally a Jedi, but not a Jedi at the same time, and at the moment I have no word to use for that. Well, that was completely useless, so let's head over to Shanique, who is completely done with all this shit, so starts making a runner for it. But just as she's about to escape all of this Otto SpaghettiOs, the midget comes out of literally nowhere trying to arrest her. Yeah, it turns out this entire episode is just one giant montage of people appearing out of absolutely nowhere at the precise time they needed to, so the plot can happen. Not even joking, that is all they do in this utter shite of an episode. So they get fighting bigly time because Shanique is actually resisting arrest. Even though in the last episode, she clearly stated that she was going to hand herself in. But oh no, Shanique is now throwing her knives at the midget, and that must mean she is going to die. Like, really die, because this is the exact way how she killed Trinity from the Matrix to death. Well, if you thought that was consistent, then you were a complete and utter dingus. Because in this episode of absolute diarrhea, she ends up missing every shot. Tremendous, mate! I guess the only consistency Disney can commit to is destroying every franchise their stinking ESG-infested hands touch. Scene transmission back to the Squidman and a totally mysterious master. And they are fighting. Like, really fighting like beavers. And actually, it's pretty good. The choreography pretty much is well done throughout this episode. Until they both agree that it is now halftime at the Super Bowl. So Squidman gets asking yet more questions. Hey, can you remove your helmet, please? What? You want me to remove my helmet? I will not fall for your slippery eyes this time, Squidman. I've watched X-Men. I saw how Magneto wore a helmet to stop Xavier from reading his mind. And in this show of absolute crayon munching, I have this thin piece of force-blocking metal around my head. Which totally makes sense. But that just caused a re-raging meltdown by the Squidman saying, what master refuses to unmask themselves? I mean, you won't even reveal yourself to your own pupil Shanique. Well, "You tell her me, Squid Man," replies the totally mysterious master, implying that Squid Man is also wearing a mask. Oh, well that was a thinly veiled hint that a Jedi killed all the Coven of Cat Ladies in episode 3 now, isn't it? So it's back to fighting again, where the master drops a bitch slap on the Squid Man so heavy that it renders him retarded. And now, he is going to die. Like, really, really die. Because there is just no surviving this situation. So then the master straight up fucks off, leaving him alive. Get the fuck out of here. This show is the dumbest piece of crap I've ever seen. Alright then, so back to Shanique and the midget, who are totally having an angry scissoring session. Until the midget somehow manages to apprehend Shanique. Which is really, really stunning and brave, because not only is Shanique twice the fucking size of her, all this crap could have been cleared up in episode 2 when Squid Man already had her in a force hold, but then let her go. Anyway, oh no, she has now been arrested, and that is totally going to cause a whole load of mostly peaceful protests because Shanique is a good boy who didn't do nothing. But just as that midget is about to get kneeling, the master comes out of literally nowhere to fight her. You know, after leaving Squid Man alive when he could have just fucking killed him right there and then. But while that's going on over there, Shanique is about to get out of that place. And the master, who's currently kicking the midget's ass, notices that and then just goes, "You know what, I'm just gonna fuck off too, see you later, bitch." What is wrong with these writers? Just go and kill them already. Alright, and now we're back with Trevon and a female of power who are now walking through the trees where those very evil bug creatures were in the last episode. But little does Trevon realise, not only is Bonquisha an utter genius and a full-time hilarious comedian, but she's also an etymologist somehow, as she tells Trevon, "Hey, we need to turn our light off right now because those creatures up there are attracted to the light. And I'll use this piece of plot convenience in a later scene." So let's head over to Shanique, who, as a career criminal, is escaping arrest again. But is suddenly stopped by the master. "Ah, dog," she reads. "I'm so sorry I'm stunning and braving my way to betraying you. I promise I won't do it again, innit? Oh lordy lordy, I done goofed up big time." But that ain't gonna stop the master man who, and I quote, slices through her handcuffs and then goes to try and kill her to death. What? That makes absolutely no sense. But little does he realise, just as he's about to commit another hate crime, Squid Man comes out of literally nowhere to stop him. For the love of fuck, this show has more crayons than Crayola. Everyone should be dead by now. And for some reason, the midget is there too. So it's big fight time where somehow the midget uses her outstanding, stunning and brave girl-sized fists to beat the helmet off the master. And she beat it so vigorously that it fell on the floor while Shanique sends a Bluetooth Wi-Fi text message to Bonquisha telling her to come back. But little does the midget realise that made him ejaculate 2 lightsabers and then kills her to death. Oh, thank you, lordy, lordy, thank you. I have never rooted for a character to die more than that cringe bitch. But all this Otto SpaghettiOs just revealed who the master actually is. And shut that front door. It was a emasculated Disney male character all along. Oh, how I shat myself upon finding that one out. A twist that truly blew my utter nuts off. Because remember, audience, if it was Kaiser Sose and the usual suspects, then in this utter genius of a show, it must be the emasculated Disney male character. So it's facing off time with the master, who is actually a complete badass and should have been the main character of this show, gets choking that bitch Shanique out with a lightsaber pointed towards her head. "Who are you?" reads the Squid Man. "Who? Me? Yeah, so I was an emasculated Disney male character, but I guess I'm now a Sith." My god, you're right! You're a Sith for sure! But we're all going to forget about that in 100 years' time and claim you've all been extinct for 1,000 years. Because you know, if you want consistency, you might want it in diarrhea format specifically spewed out by Leslie Headland's face. So tell me, Master Man, what do you want? I want freedom. Freedom to do what I want. Like, you know, wear dresses and enter female-only spaces with my big fat hairy balls out? Because under the current system, you Jedis are assholes and control freaks. But while that's happening, Trevon comes out of literally nowhere to fight the master. But little does he realise, he used up all of his stunning and brave energy bar saving Bonquisha. So straight up fucking dies. Yay! That's another one dead! Please kill every single one of them and I promise to buy a Disney Plus subscription. And while that's happening, Shanique sees an opportunity to get escaping again. Because so far, all of this has gone to shit, but suddenly gets stunned by a hilarious comedian with a gun, while Squidman kung fu fights the master, and strangely bests him. So goes in for the kill, and he has every right by the law to stop this guy by any means possible. He is a beyond dangerous Sith man, but just as he's about to stop the incredible danger, Bonquisha stops him at the last second. So Squidman straight up lets him go. Again, like he did with Shanique in episode 2. But little does anyone realise, Bonquisha sets her stunning to maximum brave by using her magic all-in-one Swiss Army knife robot that can do anything the plot needs it to as a flashlight to attract all those bugs she saw in the forest earlier. And then sticks it to the back of the master that somehow actually just stays there, and all the bugs come along, grab him and fly him up into the air, completely removing the danger from this scene, even though Squidman literally could have stopped him 1 second ago. Get the fuck out of here! This is the dumbest scene throughout the entire show. Even more dumber than setting concrete walls on fire. Who could force blast every Jedi all at once and then kick everyone's ass, but suddenly can't beat off a couple of bugs on his back? I came, I saw, I cringed to death. So as they stand there ready to get running out of that place, Shanique comes out of literally nowhere with the stun gun that she has for some reason now, then bitch slaps Squidman, just so they can have a classic twin reunion like some kind of knockoff Sunset Beach scene. What have you done, Shanique? I did what I needed to. I did it for our family. They invaded our home. The Jedi are evil. Evil? Shanique, you literally tried killing me to death in episode 3. But unlucky for you, I have always used my maximum stunning and brave. And that's why I'm part of the Jedis. They've brainwashed you, reads to Shanique. And yeah, even though it's true I tried to kill you, I'm actually good and I love you very, very muchly. So let's have a family hug. And it's really, really emotional, even though no one in the audience actually cares. But the female of power ain't gonna be letting no bitch with a bad haircut get away with murdering Trinity from the Matrix. So puts her under arrest and they start fighting again. You know, after Shanique said she was gonna hand herself in to the Jedi, but now is not gonna hand herself in because of some kind of reason. And they're really hissing and reeing like a bunch of cat ladies right now. But it turns out Shanique ain't no bitch and straight up force knocks out Bon Queef. And that gave her a great idea. Hey, how's about I cut my hair then pretend to be Bon Queef? Because after all, we look exactly the same, minus a giant fucking tattoo on my head. Well, that was great. Let's head to Squidman, who's now waking up from a long little power nap, where the fake Bon Queef gets walking over after changing very quickly, saying, "Sup, Squiddy, Shanique f***ed off for some kind of reason. Probably writing lyrics for her next diss track. We better not go looking for her, so let's go back to the ship." But as they're walking, the non-conformist pansexual they then go for is totally sus about that bitch because she doesn't smell like the female of power, and also has a giant tattoo on her head that Squidman hasn't even noticed because he's got to be an idiot for the plot to happen. Meanwhile, on the planet of Doom, Masterman, who's actually the only good character in this show, has finally beaten off all those bugs and has returned to fake Shanique. And he's telling her, "Hey bitch, let me just force heal that giant wound you've got there, because the force can do everything from healing wounds to making cups of fucking tea these days. And I'm just gonna completely ignore the fact you now have a tattoo on your arm and no witch shit on your forehead, because I also have to be incredibly dumb just so the plot can happen. Like that time I was gonna kill you not 5 minutes ago." Well, that was as bad as expected, although suddenly the emasculated Disney Mara character is totally cool. And someone actually paid the choreographer to make good fight scenes believable. Unlike that giant piece of crap Ahsoka, where their definition of a fight scene was a granny doing line dancing. What a load of crap Disney Star Wars truly is. Big shout out to all my Patreon boys and guys. You are the reason my mummy calls me a special little boy. Love you all very muchly.
Subscribe button.
Is always right.